You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, now we're here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's Sunday Mounts of the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of Kingsguard, Leandros' Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm Chan, you are up and let's go. Alright. Get you alive if a little bit bruised. Gah! Jaws? It seems I can't leave you alone for a second. Jaws staggered to his feet, blood gushing from the wound he had received earlier, now torn wide open. Your wound, it's... I know, I'll be alright. I'm a beast man, injuries like this are nothing. The thing, on the other hand, really took a wallop, though. Just several feet away, a lone cannonball rolled away from the Leviathan. You had Jaws to thank for rescuing you from the attack, but whichever brave soul launched at the cannon at the beast deserved praise as well. A few of the sailors began to cheer prematurely, believing the battle was over, but as the creature began to stir, you realized this new battle was far from over. Clearly a cannonball to the skull was not enough to kill the beast. What are you doing? It's not down yet! Perched on the railing of the ship was the Orca Beastman himself. He must have just come back from the assault on Marvin's ship as you noticed fresh scars scattered all around his body. A mixture of water and blood pooled around his feet as he started forth, drawing his blade. Draw your swords! Prepare to attack! His words were like magic, somehow stirring the crew to action. Those that were stunned and shaking suddenly realized what needed to be done. It was kill or be killed, and the crew, save for a few lost souls, charged forward to get in. The creature roared with every strike until it was forced to reel back to gain distance. Gunners! Ignore the enemy ship! Get the beast! Flashes of fire, light, and smoke exploded aboard the ship as the beast was bombarded with cannons. Each cannon strike the beast howled in pain and caused its massive scales to rain down upon the deck. What are you idiots doing? They're getting away! Turning your attention back to Prain's ship, the sails were full of wind as they turned tail from the fight. Don't let them escape! The shrill screams of the captain were both illogical and irrational. No one in the right mind would stay in the waters with such a hellish beast. Anyone not firing at that wannabe is getting thrown into the water with that thing and left behind. Even with Croone as captain, the crew knew whose judgment was sound. And continued to follow Alkai's command as though Croone was merely a whisper in the wind. I'm captain, you will do as attack! Destroy it! Protect me! In an instant, Croone went from the helm, brimming with pride, to running for his quarters with his tail tucked between his legs. It was not a good look for a captain, but you were glad to have him shut up for once, and knew you weren't the only one who thought that way. Damn coward! Man, keep firing! Don't let up even for a second if you wish to see dawn! All at once, the cannons on deck returned towards the beast, and a volley of iron spears were shot at the beast. That's it! Send it back to Sidon's locker! You had to admit you were impressed with not only Alkai's leadership, but the camaraderie of the crew. They were gruff, vulgar, and brutish, but it was those traits, the traits of a pirate, that made you save all of your lives. They had likely been in numerous battles of life or death. Jaws! The Orca glared over at Jaws with a look of indignation on his face. He said nothing more, but you could tell that Jaws and him would have a long chat when this was over. If any of us survive, that is. Head back inside, Jake. But I can't keep saving you from this creature. I'm a beast man. I can handle myself, but you? If you get hurt, I'll never be able to forgive myself. Jaws, get your ass over here! Stay down there and you'll be safe, I promise. Jaws, wait, the key! I get it from Alkai. After our last talk, I don't think he'll let him out. Watch your heads! Yeah! Ah! Jaws pulled you in close and again ducked as the creature whipped its body around, throwing sailors around the deck and some overboard. With each thrashing from the monster, the ship buckled and groaned, and each splinter, crack, and break in the wood was like the ticking of a clock, marching the ship towards its inevitable demise. The creature needed to be stopped, and fast. Need all the help you can get. We don't have much room for taking on the water with Leandros in a cell. We have to get him out. Damn it, if Alkai wasn't already charging head first at the beast, we'd be able to get the key from him. Croone might have another key, though. Hold on. In one hand, Jaws scooped you up and held you close to his side as he charged forth, yelling at the top of his lungs. Thankfully, Alkai was pulling the beast's attention away from you, its main target, creating the distraction needed for Jaws to bring you right up to the captain's door. As he sets you down, he yells over the sound of cannon fire as you motion towards the door. Oh, excuse me. As soon as you get the key, I'll bring you back, but you'll need to hurry. Alkai won't be able to distract the Leviathan forever. You quickly responded with a nod and tried the door. Thankfully, the handle turned. Croone must have forgotten to lock it in his retreat. As you entered the room, you nearly gagged. He had thought Croone himself had smelled bad, but this was far more vile. The scent of cigar smoke and sickly sweet ale was so strong it was a wonder the entire ship didn't stink like this. He had half a mind to open the door to let the room air out, but the Leviathan's roar reminded you of your mission. Ahead of you was Croone, sitting at his grandiose oak desk with a drink in one hand and a cigar in the other. He effortlessly downed his drink, then reached for the bottle with shaky hands to pour himself some more. Croone? Ah! You! What do you think you're doing in me room? Where's the key to the cell? The cell? What are you talking about? The cell you have in the hole in the ship. Alkai placed Leandros there. That's none of my concern. Now get out to make yourself useful and kill that thing. Do that and I'll forget this clear invasion of my privacy. Ah! With as fear-stricken as Croone sounded, it would be difficult to get anything out of him. Listen, we need all the help that we can get. Leandros has fought against it before, but he can't do anything unless you tell me where the key is. Now, are you just going to sit there and drown in your ale, or are you going to help? You promise he'll kill that thing. It's either that, or we'll all die. Croone opened up a drawer and started to scavenge about before tossing a rustic key on the desk. There, now go! But know this, I was the one that saved yours and that cat's life, boy. I'll be sure to make a note. He quickly grabbed the key and bolted out of the room. Good lord, I'm thirsty tonight, y'all. The fight with the beast was still raging on. From what you could tell, only a fraction of the crew remained. Scattered all around the deck were the dead or unconscious bodies of the crew still not fighting. You were frightened at first, thinking that Jaws might have been among them. But in the center of the commotion, yelling at the ones still left standing, were two beastmen holding the line. I have the key! You raised your arm in the air, showing him the rusty tool. Hang on, I'll be right over. Jaws quickly turned his attention back to the beast as it slithered to and fro. Breaking away from the fight would not be easy, and time was running short already. He decided to act and made a break for the hole, taking the chance to dash across the deck while the beast was busy, sliding and rolling out of the way of the crew and the beast. Jaws was calling your name in between the sparse moments that the beast was recoiling from its attacks, but still you kept moving. Your heart was racing and your breath was sharp and fast. As you reached the door, the blade sheathed away at your side began to rattle in its scabbard as though your retreat was making it furious. But you had no time to pause and question why. All you could think about was rescuing Leandros. Jake! Leandros greeted you immediately upon your entry into the room. He looked terrified, wide-eyed, and awake. You could tell that even the cells of the bar had a bit of distortion that looked as though he had attempted to free himself. He must have been desperate to get out, but you couldn't blame him. If he actually knew what was going on above, he'd likely have broken through. I have the key. Give me a moment. You fumbled with the ring of keys, inserting each one in one by one until you heard a satisfying click and backed away as the door swung open. Jake! Immediately, Leandros dove in to hug you tight. His warm body a much welcome comfort. After once more checking to see if you were alright, you finally managed to pull him away. What are the gods is going on above? What are the gods above is going on up there? The ship is shaking and tumbling like we're in the middle of a storm. I thought it was a battle, but then I heard a roar. It's back. Back? The monster, the Leviathan, showed up in the middle of the battle. What? It can't be. Everyone's fighting it off, but I don't know how much longer they will last. This isn't good. I doubt a ship this small will hold up for long, especially after the battle. This is why we need to stop it. You took care of it before, right? All that I could do was wound it. I don't know if something like that is killable. Still, of all the times for them to take away my sword. Leandros glanced down at your side, where the sword was still rattling, but now with an eerie glow. The look on his face was of fear and concern. You knew he wanted you to be rid of it, but it wasn't as simple as tossing it overboard. Even the mere thought began to make you feel sick. His concentration was broken by the sounds of cannon fire and the screeching of the beast. He had hoped it would have been enough to take it down, but you could tell it was still very much alive. Jake, I want you to stay here where it's safe, understood? I'm going to head up there and fight. And what do you expect to do? You don't even have your sword. I saw plenty down in the cargo hold while I was moving boxes around. Cheap trinkets, but they'll have to do. This thing. I don't know why it's back, but I promise I will not let it harm you. It is my duty as your Kingsguard. Please be careful. I can't lose you too. Leandros gave you a slight but confident nod before he left to take on the beast. Above you, the struggles of the crew and the beast still had not died down. You wished you had the power to stop it all, the power to banish the beast back from where it came. He won't survive. Gah! Again? A pain coursed through your body, forcing you down to your knees. You gripped onto the bars of the cell for support, but your legs and arms felt weak. Damn it! Once more you heard a voice in your head, deep and melancholic. Though it was also not a voice, yet somehow you understood it, its words resonating with the pulsing light from your blade. Let me in, and I will finish it. The voice seemed to come from all around, from the walls, the floors, from outside, from inside. It was oppressive yet impassive, demanding yet forgiving. It was like a father, strict, stern, and caring. You could tell there was much darkness behind its meaning, honeyed words laced with the vilest of poisons. Who are you? Your head felt fuzzy, the room was spinning, your arms and legs were starting to feel paralyzed. Even lifting yourself was a struggle as you broke into a hot sweat. What had started off as a harmless present was beginning to turn into a curse. Was it really the sword speaking to you, or were you slowly descending into madness with the incursion? A fear gripped your heart, like you were about to be pushed into a bottomless abyss with no way back out. Leandros! You tried to shout, but the words that came out of your mouth were quiet and soft, and the pain only continued to intensify. And it's after you, me, us. What are you doing to me? Your body started to heat up, your vision became fuzzy, and your fingers, arms, and legs grew numb. You could barely keep your eyes open as you started to slip in and out of consciousness. Someone, please, You didn't know where you were going, just that your body was beginning to move all on its own. Within the darkness, something bumped into you, yelled at you, just slightly stirring you from your trance before you were dragged right back in. Somehow you had managed to drag your limp body further and further up, driven by a desire to find Leandros out of fear of your own life. Leandros! Jaws! Someone! Anyone! Jake! You opened your eyes, clouded and foggy, to the sight of a battle. The crew of the ship, fighting something that made your heart grip with fear and your blood boil. Jake! There it was again, a loud shout that broke through all the noise. You caught a glimpse of someone familiar. Golden armor illuminated by the sun, mane bouncing with each step they took. They were running towards you with a fearful expression on their face. Jake! Jake! Whoever they were being rude. You just wanted to fall back asleep, to be embraced once more in that cold, dark abyss. Wake me. Wake you? I have to wake you. Embrace me. Yes, I have to. A monstrous hiss rang through your ears. You turned away from the being before you, shaking you constantly, yelling at you like some madman, and met the eye of an enormous beast glaring at you. Tiavnaphis. You did not know what the words meant, but felt a deep power tied to it. The creature, however, turned wide-eyed as it began to dive in. Instinct told you to run and flee, to save yourself, but you felt your hands reach for the hilt of your sword. The heat of the blade grew hotter and hotter, nearly evaporating the sweat on your brows. You answered for the call of battle. Then you struck. Die. Gah! Jake! Pitiful. Truly not worthy. How long were you here for? How long were you alone in this empty place? You looked down at yourself, at your hands, your arms, your legs. Your body was shifting, like an image rippling in water. Fire. Brimstone. Soot. Ash. Blood. War. The ghastly voice echoed all around you. Ooh, ghastly, huh? Alright, let's do this again. Fire. Brimstone. Soot. Ash. Blood. War. A ghastly voice echoed all around you. It was spoken in a profane and evil tongue that somehow you could understand. Who's there? Alright, y'all. I'm going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all if I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Tresum Guy. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits and get access to all of our not safe for work contents as little as $5 already, I love you all, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.